Mealtime. Welcome to a very dreary Germany. Now it's a couple of days from spring and I'm kind of sick of this weather, so I decided to go south, and to do that I ordered the car at my favorite car rental company. But when I got there to pick it up, they said it's a VW Touareg with a diesel engine. So I kind of told them to Then the guy at the counter offered me a 530e drive, which is where I am now. And that kind of got me thinking. It's a hybrid, and with all the discussion about the diesel and so on, I kind of thought, is a hybrid really an alternative to a diesel? Especially on a long distance journey. So I'm taking it all the way to the south of Europe and back again, which is about 5,000 mile road trip. And I'm gonna see what it's like.
But before we get started, here are some numbers. However, take these few consumption and performance figures with a grain of salt.
So right when you start it, you notice that it's not really like a normal car because it's silent. It stays silent. Even if you put it into gear and get it rolling, it's silent. So let's get going. At town speed, this car is incredibly quiet, comfortable, especially if it's only running on the electric motor, and if the suspension is set up in comfort mode. It glides over bumps and humps. It's really very nice and very comfortable. Onto the Autobahn. And we are on the Autobahn, finally, and onto our first stop for the night, which is Innsbruck in Austria. Very nice town. I have to say, Autobahn is really the thing of the 5 Series. I mean, I'm not talking in particular about this engine setup. I mean, in general, the 5 Series. I remember a couple of months ago when I was going to the Gamescom in Cologne, I had a BMW 7 Series, and I'm not noticing a lot of difference. It was just as quiet, it's just as comfortable. You get the same seats. I don't know if they have a massage function, but I think you can have them with a massage function as well. It's just as quiet. The suspension is incredibly comfortable. You have the exact same interior, the exact same toys. I'm gonna check the interior, see if there's any room in the back. I'm not that much interested in the back, but as far as I can tell, why would you buy a 7 Series? It's just harder to park. Basically the same car, the same interior, same gadgets, same toys. Just as quiet, just as comfortable. Well, I don't know.
Naturally, this being the Autobahn, it didn't take long for the lane experts to show up.
good. Should probably put it into sport now. Dials change completely. Everything's red now. Wow. Okay. Suspension's getting a lot stiffer. I can feel that. I'm back on my way. So, well, I arrived at my hotel for the night in Innsbruck, and I have to say I'm fine. I'm not exhausted, I'm not tired, I'm not in any pain. But I have to check into a hotel and I have to eat something, and so I'm not going to talk a lot about the car today. I just want to give a little heads up on where I stand with the figures from the car. And if we have a look at the onboard computer here, it says that I averaged 7.3 liters 100 kilometers at an average speed of 110 kilometers an hour. So I said that's not particularly good. The way I was driving, I guess a diesel would have done it a lot better. And I reckon if you get the 530i, which is the same 4-cylinder petrol engine, but with more turbos or bigger turbos on it, you're gonna do about the same or even better. And I reckon you can even get there with the 540. So again, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the car tomorrow. Just want to give a little heads up on the figures. So, morning guys, welcome to day 2. I drove the 530e drive up to Innsbruck yesterday, which is where I am now. I had quite a lot of opportunity to check on that car's performance on the Autobahn, especially on terms of fuel consumption. So let's have a short look on where we are. driving information and onboard computer again, and you can see 38.6 miles per gallon, an average speed of about 70 miles an hour. So that's not particularly great. Now, as long as the battery is charged, the electric motor and the petrol engine working in conjunction to drive the car, which does pretty well. But if the battery is empty, the tiny 4-cylinder engine not only has to power the car, it also has to carry the additional weight of the batteries, which is 200 kilograms. The entire electric system is 200 motor batteries. It's 200 kilograms. I checked it up. So what you actually have to do is you have to keep the battery charged. Now, to do that, the sat-nav lists charging stations. Let's see if we can find one. That will be navigation. And you can see there are petrol stations and there are charging stations as well. So, okay. So let's go there. And I'm gonna go on max E-drive to drain the batteries completely. And then let's see how fast we can charge them up again. I've now been to 4 different locations that the BMW sat-nav has sent me to, which it claims there was a electrical charger for the car, but none of those had one. So I'm ask Google now and see if the location that Google tells me has actually an electric charger.
You have reached your destination. Your destination is on the right.
So after 5-6 tries, I finally found the station where I can charge a car. Look, there it is. But unfortunately, you need some kind of an RFID card in order to get it running, and it looks like the car rental company has not provided me with one. I looked all over the car, but I couldn't find it. So unfortunately, I cannot demonstrate how the charging works. However, I can demonstrate how the fuel efficiency is with the battery fully charged. In order for that, I simply use the car's engine to charge up the batteries. If they are fully charged, then I'm going to fill up the car, and then I'm going to drive about 100 kilometers and then see what my fuel consumption is, what I put in then. BMW claims it's 2.1 liters a 100 kilometers. That's about 110 miles per gallon. Well, sounds a little bit optimistic. Let's see if we can get there. Alright, now I filled the tank up and the battery is charged. Everything is now at 100%, and I entered the destination that is 102 kilometers away. It's a petrol station, and I'm gonna see how much petrol is gonna fit in there when I get there. So there you see, battery 100 and fuel 100, everything's full, and leave it to auto mode, leave it to its own devices, and yeah, let's see how much petrol fits in there once I get there. too well then, did it? Now 4.2 liters per 100 kilometers, that is about 55 miles per gallon. Now that's a very respectable value, but it's nowhere near the promised value. And I have to say, the way I was driving, a diesel would have done just as well, if not better. Now on my 100 kilometer drive, I used up half of the battery charge. So taking this into account, you probably have to stop every 200 kilometers in order to charge the battery up. Then you get the value that you just get from a diesel, and well, it's shaping up to be not quite an alternative to the diesel. Not really. However, the scenery is very nice. I'm on my way to Italy now, and I hope the weather is a little bit nicer than here.
Please turn left in 300 meters and continue to follow SR249 and then immediately turn half left.
What?
Now turn half left onto A4. Prepare to turn left. Please turn left in 300 meters towards SS11. Now keep left towards A4 and then immediately turn left. Now turn left and continue to follow SR249 and then immediately turn half left.
Ticket. Good. Ooh, am I glad to be back on the motorway. I arrived in Genoa at my hotel, and the good news is it seems like the hotel has a charging station for electric cars. So maybe I can use that to charge up the car.
so it looks like it might actually work usually. And of course I can, oh wow, yes, it opened. I can plug this in here. Now it says something. Some kind of electricity flowing into the vehicle. Nice. And on the bottom left here we see that in gigantic speeds this thing goes, okay, that's very slow. At 2140 it's done charging. Wow, a hotel with a charger that actually works. Great. It's not very fast though, right? 2140, that's in 5 hours. So it needs 5 hours to charge. Isn't that amazing? And with the drive up here yesterday in the rain, and today, nothing. Not a single cloud in the sky. Absolutely nothing. So today is not much about driving. I'm not gonna drive today because after the drive yesterday in the last 2 days I'm kind of need to relax and unwind a little bit. So I'm going to make use of the weather and go out and explore the city a little bit. But before that I'm going to go to the garage and check if the car is charged. And there it is. Oh, it's still attached. Nobody has stolen anything. That's good, I guess. So let's unlock this. And it's green. Great. And as you can see from the display, it's fully charged. Really hard to do with one hand. And open it up. Put it back into the close enough. It's clearly meant to be charged up overnight with this cable. It's not a fast charger. No idea how long the fast charger would work or would take to charge the car. So yeah, one successful charge then. The morning I left Barcelona, I was not only greeted by a beautiful sunrise, but since this was a Sunday morning, by empty roads as well. That gave me a nice opportunity to have a closer look at the apps in the BMW's infotainment system.
Weather. 17 degrees cloudy tomorrow. 17 degrees cloudy day after tomorrow. 17 degrees cloudy day after that. 16 degrees cloudy. News. Let's see the news. Russian presidential election, another Russian hacker attack, Russian and China and Russian rainfall radar. What's that? Ooh, nice. You can zoom in and out apparently. Let's try this. Ooh. And what's that? Oh, it's like a film? No, I thought that. Yeah! Entertainment travel guide. Okay, so there, I think that tells me where there are sites or something. Okay. Yeah. Search. Casa della Fortuna. Ah, indeed. Arqua. What's Yelp? Loading. It's another search. Kicker. I guess that's soccer news. Football? Football season's over. Ice hockey. Basketball. How did the Warriors do? BBL? What's BBL? Who cares about BBL? Handball. Tennis. Indian Wells table. Okay, that's a bit poor. What's Flickr? Pictures from the region. So instead of looking out the window, you can look it directly here in the car. Park now. I guess it finds parking spots or something. Connected drive store. Okay. I think you probably download new apps. Oh, okay. Tells me there's an error of some sort. After I fooled around long enough with the infotainment system, I was realizing what an amazing road I was driving on. The Autovia del Mediterraneo, 1,000 kilometers of tarmac along the coastline of the Mediterranean Sea from the south of Barcelona all the way down to Algeciras. A road that would take me almost directly to Gibraltar. Okay, I found a really nice road to test out the car's dynamic capabilities. I hope nothing breaks on me. I'm not going too fast. Obviously, I'm not on a racetrack. I'm not a race driver. But it should give me a sense of where the car is dynamically. Let's put it into sport mode. And then let's see. Whee! Pulls away good. Brakes. Ooh, nah, not that good. Seems holding me tight. 40 kilometers max speed. Okay. The roundabout, I guess. I have to say, car wobbles quite a lot. It feels exactly like what it is. A fat, heavy luxury saloon. Not a dynamic sports car. Okay. Something's affected. I think I already destroyed the car. I wasn't treating it that badly actually. So yeah, sporty. Not really. No. That's it. The rock. Look at that. That's amazing. That's the longest bridge in Europe. That's Lisbon. Wow. To the right there, you can see it. So, welcome to the interior of the 5 Series. In general, the materials are quite nice. This is a little bit hard, but it's leather. Seats are very good. This is leather as well. This is soft touch here and here. You can have that covered in leather as well if you want to. Cost you a little bit extra. This is soft touch, but it's a bit harder. But it's okay. This is really hard, but then again, these plastics here, but they don't feel too cheap. The steering wheel is very nice. This is leather. It feels very soft. You can adjust that steering wheel in a lot of ways. There are a lot of controls here that sets the lane or the autonomous driving. This activates the adaptive cruise control. This sets the range for the adaptive cruise control. That's some speed limiter. Over here you have a telephone controls, a phone controls, noise volume controls. Here the controls for the air conditioning. Again, pretty standard, nothing fancy. You can adjust it manually with these buttons. Or you can just leave it to auto. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, you have these short control buttons, so these direct buttons that can be mapped to any function, and if you just glide over them, it's already pre-selecting them in some way. Electronic handbrake, auto hold, which is some kind of a hill hold function. Here you have your driving selectings, controls for the iDrive, cup holders in front, a USB outlet, a cigarette lighter, which is of course full of charging cables right now. There's another cigarette lighter USB outlet in here. So 2 USB, 2 cigarette lighters. Yeah, the seats can be arranged in every imaginable way. You can adjust the leg rests in front of here, at the front. You can of course adjust the height from the seat, and of course that making the backrest. You can just adjust only the upper part of it as well. Okay, to drive like that. Of course, you have your lumbar support, and you have additionally you have these seat belts rings which can be tightened up. It's good if you get to any twisty roads, then they hold you tight, so you're not sliding around that much. I would have chosen a different color, I have to say. In that's black ceiling and black dashboard and black decor and the black center console with the black armrest, the black steering wheel, the black seats, and everything's very black. So I would have kind of contrasted it more. Would have chosen a lighter ceiling color. Definitely keep the black here, because if you choose a light color for the upper dashboard here, if you're in the sun, it reflects in the windscreen. Would have chosen lighter seat colors, probably white or beige, and then go with dark wood or with a dark piano decor. Definitely a very good thing is the sunroof. So that's the front of the car. So I'm 6 foot, exactly 6 foot, and yep. See, I have plenty of headroom, but the seat is adjusted to my driving position, and as you can see, my legroom is not not that much. My legs touching seat on the down here. So I guess that's probably better in the 7 Series. The seats are nice, comfy, very good. You have its armrest here. You can pull out that part. Probably have cup holders here, exactly. 2. We can pull that down together. We have a ski load. Yeah, materials are basically the same as in front. This is all leather. So middle seats. Let's see. Not particularly nice. Over long drives with 3 persons in the back, no way. 2, that's okay. Again, these comfort seats, because of all the additional motors to adjust them, they are very stretched. They stretch very far in the back leg room. So if you have the standard seats, you have more leg room. Yeah, what else can I say about the back? Not much. Yeah, you have heated seats in the back, that's a good thing, and you can adjust that a little bit from warm to cold and open and close, and that's basically it. In general, I think it's an okay place to be here in the back. I kind of was expecting a little bit more leg room. Like, it's okay on short or middle ranges, but on long range I would not. I think the 7 Series is then probably the better alternative. Okay, so that's my take on the interior. Oh, and I forgot something. While I'm here in the darkness, check out this nice interior ambient light thing. I really like that. Look at that. You can, I guess you can go into the setup here. And you can, I think it was vehicle settings, lights, interior lighting, and that's at ambient light, and you can change the color. Orange with white contour. White. It looks more like blue. Okay. And blue. Ooh. Blue with white contour. Okay. Don't see that much of a difference. Green with green contour. Contour of these small lines up here. Lilac with lilac contour. Okay. I guess it's purple. Okay, so there are not that much colors to choose from. Orange with orange contour. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I'm going with that. And you can change the brightness. That's the brightest. Alright. You can have that contour line. Then now it gets all the way lighted up. Now it's dimmed for night. Yeah, that's that ambient light thing. Well, that's 6,000 miles. So after 6,000 miles, we're back at the point where we started. And it looks like that spring has found its way to Germany as well. That's very nice. So what have we learned? Now first, this 5 Series is an awesome Grand Tourer. It's a fantastic long distance cruiser. It's very quiet, very relaxing, very comfortable. It's so good that I think, at least in the front, it makes the 7 Series obsolete. But it's not a sports saloon. Not by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, it feels very heavy, very sluggish. When I was driving the S5 a couple of months ago through the Alps, that car wasn't particularly lighter than that. I think about 110 kilograms, but it felt very light and very agile and very nimble. This doesn't. So if you spend a lot of time on the motorways, don't look any further. That's your car. Which brings me to the engine and back to our original question. Is a hybrid a replacement for a diesel? And the answer is clearly no. I averaged 6.8 liters 100 kilometers. So that's about 35 miles to the gallon. So I reckon with a 530 diesel I would have averaged about 4 to 5 liters 100 kilometers. So that's about 50 to 60 miles to the gallon. Here's my tip: if you used to have a diesel, or if you want to buy a new car and you think about you don't want to have a diesel, don't go for a hybrid. Even a petrol engine would have done better with the way I was driving. So even with the 520i, which has the same petrol engine as this has, you're better off most of the time, economically and dynamically, because most of the time the batteries of that will not be charged, and then you're solely running on the petrol engine. And again, if you go for a pure petrol engine, you will not have to carry the additional weight of the electrical systems. So my tip: do not buy a hybrid if you're looking for a replacement for a diesel. Now, I told you at the beginning to take these fuel consumption performance figures with a grain of salt. Now, they are only valid if the batteries are charged. If you have to charge up your car every now and then, why not go with it for an electric car? Now, if you fancy a 5 Series, and I couldn't blame you if you did, go for the 530D or the 540i. They're both straight 6 engines, which is what belongs in a BMW anyway, in my opinion. And the 530D is about 3% more expensive, and the 540i is about 8 to 10% more expensive. But I think they're worth it. All the 4-cylinder engines are cheaper, but again, I wouldn't go for a 4-cylinder engine. Come on, you're buying a 5 Series. Just go for the straight 6. Now, as for the options, I think you have to have the excellent comfort seats. It can be adjusted in any way imaginable. They're really making long journeys more bearable. The adaptive suspension, just put it into comfort and leave it there. It's really very nice and comfortable. The adaptive cruise control, it's a lot of help, especially in traffic. The stop and go function. Excuse me. The excellent head-up display, I think you should have that as well. It's very sharp, very crisp image. Displays a lot of information. You don't have to take your eyes off the road that often. Unfortunately, at this point the battery of my camera went dead, but I'm almost done anyway. So here's my final thought. I really like this 5 Series. I adore its long distance capabilities and its comfort. I just wish it was a little bit more dynamic. BMWs used to be about fun, and I had so much more in the Audi S5 when I was driving that one through the Alps. But there is hope. In a couple of months BMW launches a new 3 Series. Now, if that one has about 75% of the comfort and the long distance capabilities of the 5 Series, and is about 75% of the fun of the Audi, well, I'm going to find out, no am I?